Welcome everyone. We're here for our culinary medicine class today. Just some brief guidelines. You probably noticed that your microphones had been muted and your cameras are kind of blocked. So that's just so that we can put our full attention on Chef Alyssa and what she's going to be preparing today. But don't worry, you can still interact with us through the chat. So we will be looking for your comments, your questions in there and punting them over to Chef as we go through today. So please feel free to engage with us. And by way of introduction, here's your team today. So we got Allison Welch, she's over there on the Big Island. So hello, Allison. We got myself, also wellness coach. I'm on Maui. And then we have the star of our show, the wonderful, beautiful Chef Alyssa, with, over 25 years of personal chef experience. And we just are continually enamored with what she can create, right? She just always makes the food look so inviting and it's tasty and it just makes you want to cook it that night, which is what we're aiming for, that we can all just want to integrate this way of eating. So thank you, Chef Alyssa.
And exciting. I have to add in and exciting.
Yeah. And exciting. Yeah, we got all of it in there. Now, for anybody who is new today, you might be thinking, okay, I'm showing up, but I don't really know what's so special about this style of eating versus anything else. And we, as Allison just said, there is a lot to get excited about. So not only can this diet significantly cut your carbon footprint in half, it's also the only diet that's scientifically proven to prevent and even reverse chronic diseases. We're talking about type 2 diabetes, coronary artery disease. That's a really big deal. There aren't many things out there that can actually say we reverse and prevent disease. So that is exciting. So what is a whole food plant-based diet? Well, it celebrates food in its most natural form, closest to the way it was grown. So that might include fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds, the ingredients we're going to be using in class. While we are celebrating those foods, we're also minimizing and reducing processed foods, refined sugars, the white flours, and any animal-derived foods. And, if that gets a little too overwhelming to think about, what do I add in, what do I take out, then just read this phrase here on the screen, which was coined by a wonderful American author and journalist who's written extensively about food and health. His name is Michael Pollan, and it's eat food, not too much, and mostly plants. So post that up on your refrigerator and that will bring that to mind. Now, most of us again know vegetables are good for us, yet we might not be eating that many of them. Maybe we remember when we were a kid and it was like we were forced to eat those vegetables on our plates to get desserts or things like that. It was a chore to eat. So we're really hoping to shift that mindset and open you up to a new way of experiencing healthy food. If you're curious to learn more beyond what we're sharing in class today, I just want to introduce you to a few additional resources. I'm going to put those links into the chat. These things complement what we're doing in this class, so we do encourage you to explore their program content for yourself. So one of them is a video series from the Stanford School of Medicine called Food and Health. And it's got a series of short videos ranging from 3 to 5 minutes. And they provide just really practical skills and valuable information on how you can eat healthier. So let me just copy that link here, see if I can get it to put into the chat. There we go. Okay, the second one is offered by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, and they have a free library of video content on plant-based cooking. It includes kitchen knowledge, basic cooking skills, recipes, and handouts. So let me put that one in there. And then the last one I want to share, just because it's coming up really quickly, there's a 4-day free plant-based beginners boot camp. That's going to be March 24th to the 27th with Kim Murphy, who's a certified plant-based health coach and founder of Simply Plant-Based Kitchen. So if you're interested in joining this 4-day plant-based boot camp, then I will put that here as well, and you can check that out too. Okay. So those are the additional resources. Also want to draw your attention to some handouts that we included in your confirmation email for class today. This plate is one of them, and this is just a great reminder of how we want our plates to look, what we're moving towards, and it's really making half of that plate dedicated to vegetables, a fourth of it to a lean protein. So in this class, we're focusing on plant-based proteins, and then a fourth of it is to a healthy starch. So we'll be looking at, right, the beans, the lentils, the tofu, the vegetables, all these things we're focusing on class. The main takeaway here, you guys, is just make it look colorful. If you got a rainbow of colors looking back at you, you know that you're moving in the right direction. Now, lastly, I want to just kind of touch on before we share some of the recipes today, that all of these recipes are given to you. They're in the confirmation email. I'll show you a little clip of that. So you should be able to print them off at home. And Allison usually is really great about putting them in the chat as well. Also, lastly, just want to acknowledge, I mean, we're all coming in with a different range of experience and knowledge tonight. Some of you, again, it might be your first time, and others of you, you've been coming and joining us for, years possibly. So this class is all about just supporting you with knowledge and resources to move in the direction you choose at the pace that you choose. So these recipes are adaptable to your personal tastes and preferences. If you want any suggestions, feel free to put that into the chat. And just congratulate yourself for being here, for watching and for learning and having an open mind. And here's an example of where those recipes can be found in that email. But like I said, Allison will put that in the chat as well.
I
Did I miss
promise.
anything? We're good?
No, you got it.
Talking fast and furious so we can maximize our time with the chef, get to the cooking. Yeah. So you guys, we're just going to put the recipes briefly up here on the screen so she can just talk through them. And then I'm going to take this PowerPoint down. We'll be highlighting Chef and her cooking. So I'll let you take it from there. Roasted vegetables with orzo. We're doing Mediterranean right tonight. That's our topic.
Yes, we are. Lots of olive oil, lemon juice, balsamic vinegar. Oh, yeah, lots of
Yummy.
vibrant tasting vegetables. Yeah, so we're going to start out with roasted vegetables. What I did was, this is a loose recipe because I just, sometimes you don't really need anything, just a little structure, but it doesn't have to be exact ingredients. What's in your fridge? What do you like to eat? But a little guidelines on what work well together as far as cooking at the same time based on what size you cut them and when to add them, and if they don't cook at an even level. But what I chose today were things that all cook well together as far as time-wise. And so I chose sweet onion, I have eggplant, bell pepper, zucchini, some mushrooms, and some Roma tomatoes. And I went ahead and already chopped them, but we'll talk about that later. And what I did was I actually cooked half of a recipe so that we'll have it to showcase the finished product. That's the first one we're going to do. And then we're going to make a 2-bean salad, which is with some lightly cooked green beans, fresh green beans, and chickpeas, which I cooked up a batch of dried chickpeas in my Instant Pot yesterday. So I have some really nice chickpeas from the Pelusi Farms. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Washington State, that Dr. Jun had shared about, and I just love them. I love all of their products. So they make really soft, fat, plump chickpeas, which are fun to work with. Oh, and just very quickly, I've got my orzo pasta that's just finishing up. So we have, I'll say it really fast, like Heather. So we're going to toss, basically, the 2-bean salad is basically you prep everything and you toss it all together with a homemade balsamic vinaigrette. And that's nice and simple. And then we're going to make a homemade hummus just to show you how easy it is to make hummus. I think a lot of people just default to buying it, and it just tastes so much better when it's fresh. There's just something I think about the quality of the oil and the fresh lemon juice and the fresh garlic, all of it. The flavors just pop more. And then we're going to make a lemon olive oil fresh basil drizzle that you can put over whatever you like, your cooked grains, your cooked vegetables. I got some baked tofu. And so we're going to show how to do that and show also some other alternatives to making that drizzle. So that's it.
Great.
And I'm going to
That
just
sounds delightful.
Don't forget your orzo. Get
Thank
it.
you.
Go grab it.
All
can take
right,
that
let me
down.
take this
Perfect.
one down and we'll spotlight Chef and her cooking when she gets her,
Yes, and
yep,
stop that
orzo
one.
cooked.
Hoping everyone can see that beautiful plate of colorful veggies. And I like that. It is true, right? You can really use what you have, but I love the ones you chose.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Looks colorful already.
the orzo's not done yet, so I set the timer for 1 more minute. And maybe I should just jump and showcase this orzo. Wait, is that the right way? Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
perfect.
So this is a chickpea orzo. So you could use like a regular orzo pasta, but this is made with chickpeas. I found it at Safeway. It's got 21 grams of protein for what? I'm seeing 12 grams per serving. So 21 is for, I guess maybe the whole thing. But bottom line is it's a nice way to get a little bit of extra protein in to your dish. And so we're going to try it today and see what it's like. But I want to talk about how I cut these vegetables, just kind of walk through about how it cooks together. Oh, okay. Hold on one sec. Sorry.
I think what's nice while she's doing that is I really do encourage everyone to try one of these types of pastas. We all think, okay, maybe we go from the white one to the wheat, but trying the
Right.
chickpea, trying something different. There's so many different pastas now.
And they did have some lentil ones at Safeway today. They had usually I see the rotini and sometimes penne.
Yep,
Those are the
yep.
two that I see the most, but I really was curious about this. So I went for this today. Plus we had talked about orzo. So circling back to the size of, like, for instance, for these choices of vegetables, and again, some of it is subjective too. I find that I really like my eggplant to be well cooked because I don't like it when eggplant is kind of chewy and not soft. I just that's not appealing. So I try and make it on the smaller side and versus everything else that I'm cooking. Zucchini doesn't take that long, so it's got a high water content. So I make them a little more chunkier. The onions I made about like that, which are maybe about a ½ inch kind of chunks. The tomatoes I did kind of big too, because you'll see they definitely cook down. And then I personally, this is just more me, I don't like big pieces of bell pepper. I kind of like it in the background. I like the flavor, but I don't necessarily want big chunks. It's just, we're all funny how we like to eat our food. So I cut mine a little smaller. And then I have some beautiful cremini mushrooms. So I cut them into quarters, big chunks, and I have them to all toss together. And then what I wanted to show you too, so we'll do this as soon as I make space over here. I want to show you that I cut the top off of a bulb of garlic. And I'm going to put this in foil, and you can even put that little top in, but it's just going to cook it and easier, and then roast it. And so I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to cook this separately on the side. So what I did was, if you can see my final product here, is I have I put this in a sheet pan. This is how much it reduced quite a bit. This is, again, half the recipe. And then I have my roasted garlic on the side here in the foil that I'll pop out. But what I'll first do is I will combine this, get it in the oven, and then we will put the finished product in the bowl.
I think that it's
So
such a great idea. Just want to add in on that roasted garlics. For so many people, when they think they don't like garlic, if you try it that way, it just makes it so sweet.
Yeah, and then you've got it. If you don't have to use it all in this one recipe, but then you've got it, you can add it into. It would be great in this hummus. Like we could put some of that in the hummus. It'd
Good
be
idea.
great even in the lemon basil drizzle. just, you know, it just goes in all kinds of things.
And it was nice to see you didn't even add, I always thought you had to put oil in there. You don't, you just
Well,
close it up and it cooks. That's great.
Yeah. So with this, you can just, again, it's kind of a loose recipe. I'm just going to drizzle it with some, I have organic olive oil. I have balsamic vinegar. I have fresh cracked black pepper. I have salt. Everything is to taste. Another good thing you could add, couple things you could add, which I'm not today, but you could add a little bit of Bragg's, you know, instead of salt. You could put a little tamari, and I have some oregano. I just love oregano in roasted vegetables. And you could also put, when I did these, the roasted ones, I put in a sprig of fresh thyme because I had some. Oh, wait, oh, this way. Yeah, okay. So you can put in the thyme. I also have some rosemary. Where is that? I could have put a bunch of rosemary. That would be nice. If you happen to have it, that would be wonderful. And then I'm saving at the very end, which I'm going to add to our finished product. I have some fresh basil and some dill. But the other option is we can put the dill in the hummus. So we've got just all kinds of fun things we can do today. It's always fun to have herbs on hand.
I was going to say that has to be a class, fun with herbs. Forget fun with proteins only, fun with herbs.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a good one. That's a good. We'll write that one down, Allison.
Write that one down, future class.
Yeah.
So just, you know, this is all, again, subjective. So I'm just going to do, I've kind of tossed it a little bit. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit more. And I'll get how to gracefully. Depends on how much you have. Again, it kind of looks like a lot, but then it cooks down. So I am going to, let's see how to do this. I should probably just use a new sheet pan. That one looks pretty drenched. So I like to use a parchment paper. One of my best friends. Use it for everything.
You can tell she's a chef wanting to make it look good already. Clean,
okay, and then
fresh, perfect.
So just put it in, and then I lay it flat. So you want it to cook as evenly as possible. Oh yeah. And then what I do is, because I don't want those, I usually either tuck these in or cut them so that they don't inhibit. I have one of those smart ovens, so it doesn't inhibit the airflow, the heating. I don't think it would catch fire, but sometimes I've had parchment paper do that in the oven if it's too close to like the broiler. So, and our, tuck that puppy there. We'll tuck that there. Okay, so this is ready to go in the oven. We're going to just go pop it in. Okay, and then we'll work with what we got coming up.
Can you remind us again, what was the temperature of the oven? 400, 350? Is that?
Okay.
Can look.
It says 350 on the
350. Okay.
thing. Yeah. Recipe block. Yep. And you guys, the Mediterranean diet, right? It's more than 20 countries that border the Mediterranean Sea, and they all have high vegetables, fruits, whole grains. A lot of the fats are coming from healthy fats, right? Like olive oil and nuts. So they mirror perfectly with the plant-based eating style we're talking about today. So yeah.
So I'm going to put some of the cooked orzo.
Oh,
looks good. I know, it really looks good.
It almost looks like spelt, or you know how you cook farro, spelt. I'm going to start there and see how that looks.
I'm going to try this one for sure. That looks great.
And then we'll put in these guys. Just scrape them off my parchment paper. That helps keep your pans from getting all crusty and hard to clean.
And it always tastes better the next day too. I've got to say, the thing about roasted vegetables, some people don't like leftovers, but I love roasted vegetables when I'm always happy that I have them.
Yeah, I made this yesterday kind of testing. Look at that big fat garlic. Oh my goodness. I might have to cut that up a little bit. It's a big piece. I made it yesterday with just some chickpeas in it because I was just doing it a different way. But that's another way you can do it, right? You can add some beans or add beans after. And then I love using scissors when I cut herbs, fresh herbs. You could do parsley, basil, thyme, but it just adds a little brightness and color too. And then at the very end, you can also, if you feel like you want a little more vinegar, you can do that too. Chili flakes, if you want a little spicy. There's all different ways you can play.
Yeah, Mediterranean, they really do like the chili flakes. You know how everyone has their type, but it's almost like salt, pepper, and those chili flakes.
And yesterday I added some fresh spinach too. That was really nice. I just wanted to give you just showcase like what the options are. And yeah, I hear you. Roasted vegetables are just so fun. As
That
leftovers.
looks delicious.
Looks so good.
I'm so
I feel like I
hungry
can
for that.
grab it.
You're welcome to
eat
come
that
over.
now.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you guys think? Something you could easily make. It's great meal prep. Give you food for your next day or so.
Right. Oh, but I
Really
wanted
affordable.
to,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, please.
Where I wanted to just talk about like if you wanted to add, sometimes people like to do broccoli or cauliflower. I mean, you would probably just need to make this is 30 minutes, yeah. It depends on how you like your broccoli. I don't really like my broccoli like overcooked. Cauliflowers, I probably put bigger chunks of cauliflower broccoli in. That would take it a little longer to cook. I'd say over an inch, maybe even 2 inches. You could also cut them down to smaller bite sizes after, so it will cook evenly. You did things like put any root vegetables. It's always good to like maybe cook them beforehand if you wanted to add them in with this mix. Or you could just do, I think we've done a class like that where we did roasted vegetables with just root vegetables, beets, onions, carrots, yam, sweet potato, along that line, daikon, radish. They all kind of cook the same amount of time. So just take that into consideration. If you're going to add something like that into this, you might want to just give it a partial cook so it's a little crunchy, but not just completely raw. Otherwise, you're going to have like some uneven cooking.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you wanted to add a little, when you're drizzle, you could add a little bit of sweetener. I don't think I said it. I think I was going to add that in, that you could add a little bit of like maple syrup, just a drizzle. That would be delicious as well, just to kind of balance out your flavors. So just some ideas.
And how much of that garlic do you use then? Is it just to taste or?
I used one because it was super fat, and I'm gonna taste it and see after if I want to add more. Yeah, that one wasn't like super. Let me go back and get it. That one wasn't super soft, and I'm thinking it's because it was so big.
Yeah, but normally they do get really
They
soft.
just get really squishy, yeah. But these guys, this one's kind of squishy, but not as soft as, this one's soft. The last time I made it, I didn't close the foil all the way, and it got like rock hard. I'm like, well, that didn't work. So, yeah. it's like, how much room do you have in your little smart oven to include everything? That one was soft. So I've got two in there, a real fat one and a regular size one. And I think I'm going to save one for the hummus. I think that would be
sounds
delicious.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
All right. Now I think people are just excited, asked about what color, if you can use a different color peppers. We both answered any color you like, right?
Right. Yeah. It's fun. It's like, what do you like? Put it together. Yeah, I have been, like I said, I was practicing with this and I really like, there's a chickpea spaghetti noodles that I really like. And I added that. I made like a pasta dish the other night and it was so delicious. It was just fun. I'm like, why don't I do this more often? That was a really good dish. Funny
Note
how
to self, we got lots of future classes over here. We pastas and sauces. And how do you store roasted garlic unused?
Oh, I would just put it maybe in a Ziploc bag or an airtight container, something with a lid. Yeah, so it doesn't dry out.
How
Doesn't
long
make
do
your
you keep it?
refrigerator
Do you think?
smell.
Yes, smell. Yeah.
Probably a week would be my thought.
It really does. I'm not one that I love garlic, but I like the sweet taste. When I had it this way, it's my favorite way. And it's when you have anything toasted, it spreads so beautifully. It just adds such nice flavor.
It's
a great, that's a great one.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
There we go. This is our 2-bean salad. We pull down the recipe. Okay, so I lightly blanched some green beans. And I just kind of make sure that they're pliable. For me, I don't like them super crunchy, but I don't want them really soft. And I like them when they're kind of bright green. So it's kind of, it's about 4 minutes is that what I find. So I try and cut them in sizes that aren't too big to get in your mouth, but not too small to lose it on a fork. It's kind of the way I think about my green beans. Maybe that's too much information, but and then I have some chickpeas, which we talked about that I cooked up.
Do you drain? I have a question for you with the chickpeas. Do you rinse them? Some people do, some people don't. I know that there's, I know the sauce, the liquid can be used to thicken, but when you use it for something like this before you cook, or will you cook them? I'm talking about canned. I apologize. Like if some of us use canned chickpeas, what do you think with that when you're putting them in?
Yeah, I do rinse them. Yeah, perfect. Definitely. And then just reminding me, I used my cooking liquid in a soup I made yesterday. I'm like, darn, because that is so good to use in hummus. I got carried away. I used all my cooking liquid. But that is a good thing to keep. Always keep a little bit of the if you go to that effort. But I've really found that chickpeas seem to be more hard than soft when the canned ones, and I haven't found my perfect canned chickpeas. Seems like they kind of changed. I don't know. Everything changed, right? A little bit. Yeah.
They have some in jars that are good too, but I think if you can make them, it's great. But you can use either. Thanks, Chef.
I know. Timing. I get it. Okay, so I had some cherry tomatoes. These are from Ho Farms. I have some red onion that I sliced thin, and I did kind of just rinse them through with some water to take out a little bit of the extra bite of raw onion. These,
it's a great tip. Just so people might not know that. If you rinse your onions or soak them a little, it takes out that kind of bite.
Yeah, that can kind of linger in your mouth after you eat a meal. Sometimes it's, so thank you for saying that. This calls for olives, black olives. I happen to have these green olives. I don't know if you can tell how green they are. They're really green olives. Kind of interesting. They have now black olives without is it called ferrous gluconate, which is, I don't know, some additive they add to olives to make them stay black. or turning black. I'm not quite sure, but these are natural ripe olives. So they taste like black olives, but they're green. I don't know if you've ever seen that in the store.
Oh, I did not. I've never heard that before
You've
about
never heard that. So, okay. So this is an example of, am I doing that the right way? Yeah, up closer. They are medium crafted Lindsay green ripe pitted olives. Yeah. And they're about the same price. These were on sale. Not that sale is, yeah. Sale is $3.99 nowadays. So I'm using, because I had it open, some of these just to explain what I'm doing. And I have some artichoke hearts, marinated artichoke hearts that I cut into kind of big chunks. And I'm going to get a spoon. And then I have parsley. This is really a delicious salad. I just chopped. I like flat leaf parsley because I think it's easier to cut, and I like it better than the curly. No, but that's where I always look for flat leaf. Flat leaf Italian, it's called. I'm just going to mix this up to see how colorful and vibrant it is. And then I put together a dressing of balsamic, Dijon mustard, maple syrup, garlic, fresh herbs. I'm going to put straight in. You could put them in here, but I'm going to put them straight in here. I'll put the dill in here with the parsley. And then salt and pepper and, excuse me, the recipe's right there. And then olive oil. And this is similar to what I did in the last class that I said we would provide the recipe. Yeah, the lentil class for the lentil salad. So I've combined it all, shook it up in the jar. And then what I'd like to do, it's got garlic in it. And I like to just rub my garlic on like a cheese grater. You know, you smash it, take the skin off, and then you can just grate it. And then underneath you can scrape that into your dressing, and then you don't have big chunks of garlic. That's another thing that I tend to like it, not like big bite into big chunks of garlic. So it's just another tip if you're not one of those people that like big chunks of garlic. This is a great way you can do it. You can also use a garlic press. But this is fun because, you know, some people I think tend to have cheese graters over garlic presses. You know, it's just one more thing to have in your kitchen drawer. So it's another way you can use your cheese grater is for garlic, and you can do ginger that way too.
Great idea.
So I'm going to just shake this up. And then I suggest, you know, based on, like, I think, Allison, you had said a while back that you really like vinegar. I could be wrong. Did
No,
you?
you're right. I love it.
Okay. Yeah, vinegar and mustard. And so, you know, we all have different taste buds. Like I'm not a super big vinegar person. And so, you know, or mustard. I like mustard, but you know, I think some people like it more than everything. You know, it's all subjective. So where I'm going with this is it's you know, it's always great to taste something. You put it together, you're following a recipe, but just have a little taste and see, wow, I think I want that a little saltier. I want it a little bit more mustard, you know, and then you got it the way that you like it. Yeah, this is a guideline, and then just adjust it to taste. And then I'm going to just pour some on and see how that coats it. You can always pour more on. You know, some people like more dressing than others. And I'm just going to give it, looks to me like that's just enough. So I'm going to save this and then let it sit and then add more if I feel like it needs it. At this point, I'm going to add, yes.
Looks great. I was going to say what I love when you're looking at this, we have both views right now. It's like, look at the amount of food that it makes. Like it's really hearty, good for you,
probably
colorful.
4 servings. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yum. Okay.
I kept thinking some little red potatoes cut in half or something would be good in there too.
Oh, that would be delicious. Yeah. Great idea. Okay, so that's our second dish. Anybody have any questions?
Does it seem doable, you guys? Something that you could put together? It doesn't seem like a lot of work. Good, just a little bit of prep, and you got a lot of food.
Yeah. Okay. So we are going to now move on to our hummus. And I'm trying to see if I bring out, actually, I think I'll just I should bring out my food processor.
You know, I think it's whichever you want to do. I think it's great. And I really appreciate that you do this because I remember the first time one of my friends made hummus and I was so impressed because I think a lot of us, the reason we buy it is we think it's something so hard. And then when I watched what they did and got the recipe, I'm like, oh, I got this. So yeah, that's great.
We did have one question from the previous one. So should the artichokes be in water or oil? Does that matter?
The artichokes, sorry, I was just going to get the food processor. The artichokes could be either way. I tend to think that, they're more flavorful if they're sitting in, because it's not just oil, it's actually an oil vinegar combination with herbs and sometimes there's garlic. So I feel like the artichoke hearts are more flavorful. But it's also kind of where you're coming from with your health and, what's on sale. There's lots of different variables. So either one will work.
Okay, one other question. They're asking, is the salad good with lemon, ginger, or sesame oil?
I would say lemon. If you're going to do lemon, ginger, and sesame oil, well, it's not really like Mediterranean flavors. You could for sure do that. I probably wouldn't do balsamic vinegar. I would probably switch that out and do rice vinegar if you're going to do that flavor profile. Or just not even, if you're going to do lemon, just take out the balsamic and do it that way. That would be my thought.
You took us to another side of the world. Love it.
I did. Yeah. And you can add cilantro, right? And Thai basil. Yeah. Yeah. Get a whole new dish.
Great creative question. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay. So my big question to myself is, do I use this food processor or do I use the smaller food processor? Because this one, you want to make sure that it catches all the beans. So we're going to try this.
Go big. Go with the big one.
I know, and you're going to break my link of just always getting it from the store because it's easy and it's there. And now I'm going to see how easy it is. Going to challenge myself to make it myself where I'm in control of the ingredients. So glad we have
both
this one.
views right here so we can see.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, now these guys are, because I've drained them, they're, I'd say they're a little wetter than the canned kind, because they still have a little bit of that cooking liquid in them. So I might not need as much water. This is my tahini. I really like tahini, to buy a tahini that's runny, personally. This one I got, and it's one of those ones that it's like, the oil's on the top and it's all really heavy and dense at the bottom. So it's more work. But my favorite is Eden, but that's hard to find nowadays. So I default to, just for some examples, is 365 has a good kind of a runny tahini. I'm a big tahini fan, so
me too, and it used to be so hard to find in Hawaii, and it's now getting much easier. So you can really find it in most grocery stores.
Well, I was going to say, for people that might not be familiar with what tahini is, and maybe you guys are, but so it's a sesame paste, and you can usually find it in the shelf aisle, like not in the refrigerator, right?
No, in the shelf by the Asian, it says like kind of, or ethnic food, they call it in the regular grocery store. Like if you go into Safeway, that's where I found it before. You have Whole Foods over there, but Big Island, we don't.
Sometimes it's by the nut butters, because it's like a sesame seed butter.
Right.
So you got to hunt, or even I was at Foodland the other day and it was, It was in the R-Field section, but that was like ridiculously expensive. Or, you know, if you go to we have an India market here and they have like 4 different kinds. That's probably the best place if you live on Oahu to get tahini. Anyways, do you have a favorite, Allison, favorite brand?
I don't. Whatever I can get is honestly, but
Okay.
as you were showing that one that's thick, I know that one, and I've even tried to pulse it to try to. It reminds me
Yeah.
of the peanut butters that you just have to stir and stir and
Yeah.
stir. But
Yeah.
note to self, next trip to Oahu, I'm going to pick up some tahini there. It sounds like you guys have a lot of options.
Yeah, and I buy it online, you know, it comes in the mail. This is some chopped garlic, pretty rough chop. Gonna put that in. I don't know if it's too much to put the other one, but let's do it.
That was
I
some of the
don't
one
mean,
that you roasted?
no, this is the one that
This
I
is
roasted.
just,
That was just one I had
oh,
chopped ahead. So we're
okay.
gonna do 2 kinds. I've got some salt that has I covered because I figured it was going to be water pretty soon. It's so moist over here. But it's still loose. This is fresh lemon juice. And yeah, I have found that buying a bag of lemons is much more economical if you can even just sharing them than buying. Lemons are like what, about $1.40 each now in the store.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try this. So I've got a little bit of water, tahini, garlic, 2 kinds of garlic, salt. Some other things that I sometimes use is like smoked paprika or cumin. Those are always fun. Sun-dried tomatoes, roasted red bell peppers. Those are all fun things you can add based on what you have at home. Okay, gonna make some noise. Bear with me.
Here we go. I can't hear a thing.
I know, it's like the quietest food
I
processor I've
know.
ever heard.
And usually after just a
Can
couple,
you, by
yeah,
chance, sorry, move
move
the
it. Yeah,
no, yeah, well, if you can just move the cutting board and stick it where the cutting
yes,
board is, then maybe we can
I
see
can.
it. That would be
Yes,
great if that's not too hard. Then
yes,
we could
I
see on
can.
the top what you're looking at.
Make sure I don't make.
Yeah, don't drop
Let's see.
anything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
Just so we could take a
Okay.
look at it.
All right. There we go.
Let's take a look at it that way. Okay. Honestly, that is the quietest food processor I've ever
I
seen.
need whatever that
I
is,
do
because mine,
too.
I need like earmuffs on or something because it's so
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah. Sorry. So I'm
No,
not
yours is
gonna.
quiet.
Yours is quiet.
I'm not gonna finish this, but you get the idea. Just because I don't need to pulse this for another minute and have you guys watch me, but you get the gist that it gets nice and creamy. And you again just adjust flavors to taste to see if you need a little bit more lemon. What's really fun too is if you're going to serve it, you can put it like in a bowl and put like a little drizzle. My friend used to always put like a little drizzle of olive oil on top, fresh chopped herbs. You can put like chopped Kalamata olives. I mean, you can have so much fun, right? So many ways you can serve it. So I've seen it where you actually put a couple chickpeas on the top. They could be roasted or just plain. But yeah, it's just super easy. That's it. You got a food processor. You can do it in a blender too. I just find it's a lot easier for me. I think, less that you don't have to kind of dig it all out in a food processor if you happen to have one.
And you really have control over what's in it, right? So some of the ones we get at the
Mhm.
store might have a lot of tahini, which is a lot of extra fat, a lot of a good, not bad, but I really like that you so have control when you're making it yourself.
Yeah,
Because it could be heavy in
there,
calories sometimes.
yeah, well, for me too, it's like a lot of times they don't use really good quality oil. You just like, you'll see like soybean oil and you're like, oh man, no, Really well, but that as well as you can do it without oil. I used to do some cooking with the Shintani program, and it's about changing your diet. It's similar, different ways. But he had a hummus recipe that had no oil in it. So you could add things like miso, as a flavor enhancer. Yeah, and you could just do yeah, so he had no added oil. I'd have to go back and double check whether he had no tahini. He might have just had chickpea and miso, and
Sounds
a lot
really
of lemon
interesting,
juice.
though.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
it's
heard of
just,
using
like,
miso. That's exciting.
yeah. When I used to work at Kukua Market, they had Kukua hummus, and Kukua hummus always had some white miso in it. White miso and lots of parsley. Yeah, it was delicious, and lemon. And I believe that was, my friend Kathy Maddox's recipe. Delicious. Okay,
How
We do
long
have a
will
so
this
question. Yeah.
how long will this
yeah.
stay good for in the fridge?
Oh gosh, I'd say a week. Because it's got the lemon. And yeah, you think how long hummus lasts when you buy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
A
in the
long time.
container. Yeah, right. So yeah, and of course it depends on your fridge, but I have, I think, well, I have a fridge that has it's multi-level with its, the bottom is like almost kind of freezing. The back is kind of almost like freezing, so you can
Yeah.
strategize where you want to put things. You really want to make it last well. So yeah, there's that too, right? What kind of a fridge and freezer do you have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good point.
yeah.
Good point.
So work with what you're given. Okay, so I'm going to move this here, and we're rolling out to our basil lemon drizzle. And so this is a Cuisinart, kind of like it's like a bullet, kind of a type mini blender. What would you call it, Allison and Heather? What are these called?
Just that. I think you're saying it. You could be a bullet or just a mini blender. A lot of people have those now for making their
Yeah,
smoothies or doing things,
I
just a
think
smaller
this
size.
might be more popular, right? Than I don't know. But yeah,
Sure is
they're
easier
great.
to clean.
It sure is easier to clean. And I love this because you can make like salad dressings, really, like, because you don't always need a whole bunch of salad dressing. I guess it depends upon your household.
Uh-oh, there you
Yeah.
are. We lost you for a second. There you go.
Did you? Oh, wait. Okay.
Maybe it
So
was
what
just
I
me.
did was, I wanted to show you, basil is amazingly, can be very expensive and hard to find nowadays. But I have consistently good luck if whoever, again, wherever, what island you're on, I'm just saying, I find good luck at Foodland and Times with fresh basil, and a big bunch for like $3.99. Times they don't have it in a bag. So it tends to be like sometimes the sprinkler system gets it and it gets a little funny, starts turning black. But the best luck I have is going to Foodland and getting this. It's product of Hawaii. And I am not I am not consistent with, I try every single time to keep it as dry as possible so that it doesn't turn brown and wet. Um, uh, I put it in paper towel, I wrap it in paper towel, and then I put it in a baggie, and then I seal the baggie, and that's the best luck I have. But sometimes your basil comes damp, and that's just unfortunately kind of sets the pace of it disintegrating.
Now I'm going
Um,
to have to say for a little extra trick over here on the Big Island, if you can't find it sometimes, I've
yeah,
gone to Ace and gone back into their herbs and bought
yes,
myself.
yeah,
It's a little cheaper and then I plant it
yeah.
and it goes really well. But if you can't find it, don't forget to go look
Yeah, I
because
have gone to the hardware stores. I don't always
got
have
some
luck with the
dill.
basil plants though
Yeah.
either. I've gotten like the living herbs at Target, and that's about the same price as this. And that lasts maybe about 4 days. If I just like actually put it like in a little pot and I'm trying to tend to it, I don't know why, but basil's a little fragile with me. So I didn't wash this till just before class. I didn't want it to get funky. So I am going to, and I didn't cut it. And these are some big leaves. So I'm going to just use, I don't know if you can see. Oh, there's some big leaves. So I'm not sure if I just put this in here, if it's going to catch. So I'm just going to put my, if I can do this in front of, I get these, every year I tend to get a new pair of these. They're just like $3.99 shears at Target. And I use them for the kitchen. They are kitchen shears, but they're not like anything. I mean, some are really fancy, but I also think they're like for cutting chicken bones and stuff like that. Yeah. I just want some that can cut my herbs. Whatever else needs a little bit of snipping. I'm just going to put this. This is 1 cup. Add my fresh lemon juice, my olive oil, my salt. And what you can do if you don't have basil or not that much basil, you can add in part parsley. Parsley and basil is a wonderful combination. Okay, so now this is a combination of the olive oil, the lemon, and the salt. Just going to pour that in. Looks like the salt is hanging out in there. A little finger, put of mine. They're clean. And then close this up. See what I can do here. It's right here off the camera because my plug is in the air. Wait, see if I can do this. Okay. All right, there we go. Huh?
Love it. Live TV. Here we go. How excited are we to see it blend? It is. It's so fun to make a sauce.
All right.
That one is quiet too.
I don't know why they, I know. Really? It's great. Yeah.
Doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
See, so I'm going to, oi. Oh, it's gorgeous. There, so I'm going to just pour it back into this. See if you can see the color. Can you see how green it is?
Yeah, look at that. Here, I'm going to just.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And then you want to keep this probably as airtight as possible just for the color so it doesn't start turning. But there you go. You could drizzle that on top of your roasted vegetables in orzo if you so desire. Put a little puddle of that on top of your hummus. Yum. Yeah, cooked rice, steamed. Could be on your potatoes. It could be on any kind of vegetable you want.
That is a great multi-purpose sauce there.
There you go.
Love the idea of if you don't have enough basil to add parsley, because I always, mine is the opposite. I always have too much parsley and I never
You want to use it up.
Yes, I want to use it up.
So
that's a great, yeah.
Yeah, and the what was I going to say? Oh, like, and it's also, I have this this woman that I cook for. I blend her some soups, and she always asks for a drizzle, you know. So this would be a great drizzle. Like, what did I make? I made well, it's kind of a green on green, but I made an asparagus broccoli soup yesterday, and I blended it with a little potato in it. But you know, any kind, you could have like a nice vichyssoise, and you could do a little basil drizzle on top, you know, nice presentation. So ideas
nice.
On how you can use these things. And this is topply, so it's not going to work.
But it looks good.
It looks good. There we go. Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
Looks beautiful. And as far as I said, probably smells good too.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, what's amazing is look at, you made how many we have?
We
One,
got
two,
lunch
three.
and dinner for the week.
Yeah, all in less than an hour. And we've got the added extra of learning our roasted garlic. We did 2 different sauces. I mean,
Yeah, we got
and
the
hummus.
hummus.
I mean,
Yeah,
all of this prep in
just
1 hour.
That's amazing.
Impressive. Yeah. Just now you got to get your nice little glass containers to keep them in, to store them.
yeah, yeah, that was
Perfect.
fun. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of, I've read a lot of health benefits about the Mediterranean diet. So there's something
Hmm.
about the
Yeah.
polyphenols,
Hmm.
how do you say that in the olive oil,
Yeah.
lemon? Maybe you
Perfect.
mentioned that while I was in the kitchen. Mhm.
No.
So, any questions for Chef? We're down. I know, Heather, we can kind of round this up and finish. You did a
Sure.
great job in getting this all
Perfect
done.
timing.
Yes, perfect
Oops.
timing, Chef. Of course, this is
Oh,
why you're the
good.
chef, and
Okay.
we're here to learn from you. So, thank you for that.
Oops. I grabbed the wrong PowerPoint. Hold on.
I'm like, which one are you? Oh, are we doing another class here? I love
We're
it.
doing healthy balance now. That is one of our other classes that we enjoy
Yes.
teaching. You're welcome to come check that one out as well.
Yeah.
Uh, but here we go.
Beautiful. So, yes, please put your questions in if you have any for Chef.
Yeah.
Thanks for
So as
coming the
we
week before, right? I know we
yes,
weren't
this
the
is a
fourth
little off
Thursday, but
schedule
yeah,
this week. So
yeah.
we'll be back to our normal schedule next month on the fourth Thursday of the month from 5 to 6 p.m. So topic for next month is playing with protein. So that should be a lot of fun. We hope you'll come check it out. And here's a preview of all the different topics that we have for the rest of the year. So a lot of exciting ones coming up, and then just no class in December. But you know what? If you enjoyed this, you had fun, we're here every month doing this. And if you can't make a month, we hope that you'll check out the recordings that we send as well. So we got all that available. Or if you want to re-watch how to make something or the tip that Chef shared and you missed it, that will be available. We'll send it out to you. And as I was mentioning, we have this as well as a lot of other classes to share with you. So we hope you'll check out everything that's available. These are all virtual, offered monthly, various days and times and topics. And if you want some support in implementing, maybe you're noticing that you're coming to class each month, but maybe you haven't made a recipe yet, partner with a wellness coach. We can support you, help with that accountability, setting goals, and yeah, get you back in the kitchen cooking and actually enjoying and eating some of the food that we're sharing with you today. So with that, you guys, thank you for being here. Thank you, Chef Alyssa, for your
Thank
time and your energy and
you.
these fantastic recipes. I can't wait to try this myself. I'm sensing my meal prep for this next week. You've already helped me with
Me too.
that.
Me too.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, and thank you all for joining us. We're happy for anyone who is new today, for all our regulars that are coming back. We wish you some fun cooking and really enjoy the rest of your evening. And Chef, I wish we were there to eat some of that
I
with you
know.
tonight,
Oh,
next
I wish
time.
you were too. Take care.
Thanks, you
Okay.
guys. Everyone, have
Bye.
a
Thanks, everyone.
great, great evening.
Stay safe out
Bye-bye.
there and dry.
Yep.
Yep.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay. See you later. Bye, Chef.
okay. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone.